Hi everybody, it's Mark here with another Draken Games video. And if you're watching this in the spring of 2020, this is going to seem really topical, and if you're not, then it won't. Because this is inspired by, and I'm making this video during the lockdown for the coronavirus pandemic. I'm actually in my childhood bedroom here. I grew up. I've come down to stay with my mum, look after her during this time. And I think I'll be in the same boat as a lot of you, which is basically stuck indoors, not able to go out and socialise, and cut off from the things that we enjoy, such as playing games. So I've come up with this resource, I hope, as a little distraction for people who enjoy tabletop games, and also to make a donation towards fighting this pandemic. So the resource is called Isolation Consolation, because it sort of rhymes, doesn't it? It's like a little 5-page zine. And it's got some ideas for distracting yourself with solo games, but also some non-gaming stuff that you might find enjoyable and that you can do whilst stuck indoors for long periods of time. The main part of it, though, 2 pages of the 5, are given over to a solo game that I've created called Going Viral. And hopefully this will distract you from the virus outside by giving you the opportunity to fight your own little mini pandemic in this game. So the game is, I guess the inspiration comes from a program called Conway's Game of Life. Google it. It's quite an interesting little bit of artificial life simulation, I guess. And the idea is that there'll be some simple rules for the spread of a virus across this board, and you, as the player, I guess you've got the role of the mayor or the leader of the council. You, as the player, try and resist that. Very simple board, not particularly flashy graphics, as you might expect from me by now. You've got a city, which is the grey area, and you've got the surrounding district, which is the green area, and that is down to you to protect from the virus. You've got 6 resources: an airport, army reserve base, city hall, police HQ, hospital, and distribution depot. Those resources give you the resource points you'll need to fight the virus. They also allow you to mount operations to help you in that fight. And finally, you've got 6 outbreak zones. The only time you roll dice is at the start of the game. You roll the dice twice and pick 2 zones for the outbreak to start in. That's it. Once the zones are chosen, the virus grows just according to the rules of the game, and you choose from your armory of options to try and fight that. So as an example, let's show you what turn 0, the setup phase, would look like if you chose, or if you selected, zones 4 and 6 for the outbreak. So there you see 2 viruses. You place the 2 green viruses there. Green are the weakest virus. The virus goes through 4 stages. It goes from green to amber to red to black. When it gets to black, it dies off. At the start of each turn, that happens at the start of each turn, the virus actually ages. And then the next thing that happens is wherever there's a blank square adjacent to a virus, a green virus will appear there, so it's going to spread. Show you what I mean by looking at the situation at month 1. So that's how month 1 would look if you did nothing about it. Now, of course, you are going to be doing something about it. You're going to be spending resource points trying to resist this. But if you didn't, that's how it looks. 2 green viruses have gone amber, green viruses then grow up around it. And so it goes. And you can see, there's month 2, there's month 3, so the viruses age, change colour, and new ones appear at the edge of them. When they reach black status, you tie that up at the end of each turn, how many black spots there are, and you do that separately. How many there are in the city, how many there are in the district, that contributes towards the virus score. You want the virus score to be as low as possible. Excuse me. And then if you look at where those 2 black spots are, next turn, month 4, so the virus died off there, went down to, there was a square there briefly, but then the rules say that if you've got a square next to existing infected squares, it becomes infected. So it was immediately reinfected with a new green virus. As you can see, if you do nothing about it, at the end of turn 4, pretty much half the board's gone. But of course, you will be doing something about it. The resources need to be free of virus to work for you. When the resource is overrun by virus, you lose the resource points from it, and it can't mount the operation it's responsible for. So you need to decide which ones to defend. You can't defend all of them. You have to make some choices. To help you in that, because the resource points won't be enough, are some operations. Those are the operations available to you. And these are the resources you need free to run those operations. So Operation Lockdown, which we are all familiar with now, I would guess, is it stops the virus spread phase for the next turn. So there'll be no new green viruses the next turn. Operation Airfare, international aid comes into the airport. You get 5 extra resource points. Operation Wayfare, the central government sends help to your distribution depot, and you get 10 resource points to spend. Operation Ploughshare, the army reservists, they go out to the countryside, they help, and all the virus counters in the district are reduced by 1 level. There's the city equivalent, Operation City Heat. The police go out and do the same in the city. All the virus counters in the city are reduced by 1 level. And Operation Nightingale, it's a hospital operation. All the black counters are removed that turn and don't go onto the tally for the virus score for that turn. So there's the options. I've not done the amount of play testing that will allow me to say how every single option turns out. However, I'm confident this is a nicely balanced game. I've play tested the easiest and the most difficult conditions, and I'm very confident they are both playable, and everything in between is going to be fine. So just to get the board back. Just to say that starting outbreak, if both the zones are in the city, that's going to be a long, hard game and a lot of counter flipping. So maybe don't do that to start off with. Try and skew it that you end up with maybe a couple of district ones to start with, and save a double city outbreak until you're familiar with the tactics you can use. What are the best tactics? I'm not sure. Do you herd the virus together and deal with it as one lump? Do you try and split it into smaller groups? At what point do you deploy the operations? In what order? I don't know. There'll be some optimal strategies there, but I've not explored them yet, so do please explore them. Excuse me. Now, one thing about this game is that it's pay what you want, as you can see there. So you can pay 0, but please don't, because every penny that I make from this, I'll be donating to the Red Cross, who are around the world are helping with the fight against this virus. So it's only a 5-page Z. I'm not expecting to spend a lot of money on it, but if you can just donate $1 or $2, that'd be really nice. And the Draken Games component of that, I think we get 70% of that, will all go to the International Red Cross. So thank you for making a donation if you do. I'm aware that people like myself might be isolating without a printer, and so having a print and play game is no good to you. So I've also included in the bundle, it's a multiple file bundle you'll get. There's a DocX version of it, so you can have the game in Word and just play it on the screen, move the counters around the screen. If you don't have access to Word or anything compatible, then the counters and the board are also supplied as image files, as JPEGs. So you can then slot those into whatever you have got and play the game that way on the screen. It's not quite a video game, but it's better than nothing, I hope. So thanks for listening. I hope you can donate a little bit in purchasing this game. That'd be really much appreciated. Stay safe, everybody, and bye for now.